The race for U.S. Senate in Missouri is heating up. With less than 3 months to go before the primaries, campaigns are kicking into high gear right now. They've had a lot to talk about, from recent headlines on abortion to inflation to, well, everything in between. Republicans have a much larger field of candidates working to curry favors with voters in August and secure a spot in the general election to take outgoing Senator Roy Blunt's seat. Now, if you have watched a lot of TV recently, first off, thank you. Secondly, you've no doubt started to see all the campaign commercials kick things up a notch. KMBC 9 political reporter Michael Mahoney's been watching them too. He joins us now. And Michael, we know the candidates really trying to stand out in a crowd. What's standing out to you?
There are several things. Now, the Missouri primary, as Cody just mentioned, is on August the 2nd, and really that's not that far away. In the last few days, a third-party group called Save Missouri Values, which is a PAC supporting Republican candidate Eric Schmitt, has been very active. Last week, placing more than $1.2 million of commercials on the air in Missouri. A lot of money there. One of them urges Republicans to vote for Schmitt in the primary coming up in August, but two other ads attack rival candidate Congresswoman Vicky Hartzler, and another one of those Save Missouri Value spots goes after a third primary opponent, the former Missouri Governor Eric Greitens, with the group spending $50,000 to put that ad on the airwaves. Now, Greitens has some support of his own, too, by way of a third party, and that group is called Team PAC. Team PAC has been very active even since the first of the year, with commercials against both Eric Schmitt and Vicky Hartzler. Now, campaign finance reform records are also showing that they are spending more than $681,000 through March. That's the latest reporting period, and that figure doesn't include the newest attack spot against Schmitt that's up on the air now. Now, on the Democratic side, the Senate candidate Trudy Busch Valentine put up her first commercial last week, and in it, she notes that she comes from the wealthy Busch family of St. Louis, as in Busch Beer, and adds that despite of her wealth, she became a nurse and has tried to help others who are not as fortunate as she has. She has been spending $50,000 on that ad, primarily on cable. That's a relatively small buy. Now, a lot of the commercials that you're going to see during the Senate campaign are going to be negative. Commercials that, because while almost nobody likes them, they are proven to get viewers and voters' attention. So they're effective. And that's why there's so many of them. Now, the nature and the tone of those commercials are something to keep an eye on. Campaigns don't go after other candidates that they don't regard as a threat. They train their attacks on the candidates they think are seriously in their way. So when you see a commercial from candidate A going after candidate B, that tells you that one operation perceives their problem, who their problem is at that moment. And it's not really a bad way to keep track of the horse race in it. Cody?
No, it's a good strategy, a good guide to keep with us as we get closer and closer to primaries. Another interesting factor here, though, instead of establishing a candidate as a conservative, let's say, many of these attack ads argue that certain Republican candidates aren't conservative enough. Guess you got to, know your audience, right? But as you said, that's just this horse race trying to get these candidates in front of each other.
And Cody, it was very similar to what happened in 2020 in the state of Kansas in the Kansas Senate race, where there was Roger Marshall, Chris Kobach, Bob Hamilton, some other folks in that race. A lot of that primary was all about who is the most conservative, who is the most Trump-like candidate, because there weren't that many differences on the issues. Now, at a big debate earlier this year, one of the things I heard from Republican activists at this Senate debate was these candidates need to start pointing out their divisions and their distinctions rather than I'm the most conservative. Republicans want to hear the differences between them. They don't want necessarily for it to get negative, but they want to hear issues.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, right? Because it's just going to be back and forth otherwise, and we've seen that in the past few years.
And it probably will be all the way through. They'll talk about issues a little bit, but most of it is going to be I'm the most conservative.
Right, as you said, money, historically the bread and butter of politics. On the Democratic side, you mentioned Trudy Busch Valentine. Anything coming from the Lucas Kunce camp as far as ad time and airwaves?
Not yet. They're pretty active still on social media, on Twitter, and getting around to the Democrats in Missouri on a one-to-one basis. I expect that he'll go up with TV advertising because he certainly doesn't lack for money. He's outraced the entire field so far until Trudy Busch Valentine came into this race. Everybody expects her to be self-funded to some degree, but at this point, the $50,000 TV ad on cable is about it. She hasn't been over here on this side of the state yet, and she's been in the race for a month, so we'll see. Look for the Kunce campaign to be up on TV as well.
All right. Well, we know there are going to be a lot of ads, and we know Michael Mahoney will be fact-checking them for you. Stay tuned to KMBC 9 as he goes through all of the Commitment 2022 coverage. He'll be sorting through the fact and fiction of political ads as we get through the campaign season.